Hey guys, it's your ginger friend Stephanie here. I was just sitting here thinking, I'm waiting on Emily to come out of school. She's a junior and she has her temps. She's 16, but she hasn't they make you wait, and here in West Virginia, they make you wait 6 months to, practice driving, and then you can take your test and stuff. So I'm sitting here waiting on her to get out of school, and I am still having trouble dealing with just thinking about the whole situation with how my dad passed away. It's really crazy. My dad, he told me, he lives in Florida, first of all. He lives in Florida. We live in West Virginia, so it's like a 14, 15, 16-hour drive, something like that, depending on, how many times you stop, all that stuff. So he kept it from us that he was sick. He had lung cancer, and I had already dealt with that with my mom when I was 18, and my mom passed away suddenly of like pancreatitis and not pancreatitis, I'm sorry, of the liver and her pancreas. She had cancer in there, and that was, let's see, I'm 44 now, so long time ago, 20-some years ago. And I had just turned 18, and then she passed away. So, my dad knew, I guess, that I had all of us. He didn't tell any of us. There's 4 other brothers and sisters. I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and then there's me, so there's 5 of us. So he didn't tell anyone that he was sick. His wife, she had been sick, and so we never dreamed that he would pass away before her, because she had went through a time where they told her she only had 6 months to live. So I mean, we really thought, we had no idea that he was even sick, really. I had called him on the phone one time, trying to do the put all the the puzzle pieces together. I had called him on the phone one time, and he said that he was at the hospital, but he didn't tell me he was there for him. So I just assumed he was sitting there with his wife. And like the following week or the week after that, we all met up in Columbus, Ohio, because that's where I'm from, at I think it was my sister's place. Yeah, my sister's place in Grove City. And that's Grove City, Ohio. And he came, and we had like a barbecue and a family get-together thing like that. The grandkid, his grandkids were there and stuff. And everything seemed fine until I found out he had been in the hospital for 10 days. And then I was like, what? So when I called you, were you in the hospital? Like, for you? And he was like, yeah. I was like, you don't go to the hospital and not tell anyone that you were there for you, And I guess he had been having trouble breathing, fluid on the lungs and things like that. But he didn't want us to know. So I think it was like after that, we all hugged him goodbye. We told him we loved him. So good to see him. And, we might have talked on the phone once after that or something. And I got the phone call that he was in the ICU, not doing good, and they weren't able to help him or do anything to help him. So like an hour later, I went ahead and went to dinner, because we had dinner plans with my husband. He was, it was like a goodbye dinner thing to his coworkers where he worked. And so we had planned to go to dinner with all of his coworkers. And it was kind of important that, his family be there. So I went, and within an hour, they called me back and told me that he had passed away. So as far as I knew, I mean, there were some clues, maybe, that he was not doing well, but I'm still in shock over it. And I think it's been a year now, and I'm just still, it's hard for me to believe. Me and my dad were like thick as thieves, you know, buddies. When we would get together, his wife would say, "Oh no, not another one," because we act almost identical when we're together. Like, we act so silly and just like always, you know, messing with each other, and we just act silly. So my mom was real quiet when I was growing up, so she didn't have much of a, you know, I always say she didn't have much of a personality, but what I mean is she wasn't real dramatic. She was just real nice and sweet and kind. And whereas my dad, he was like this real outgoing, kind of crazy, goofy, silly, always being funny, always making fun of somebody, you know, that kind of thing. So, you know, anyways, when we would get together, we would act a lot like each other, like crazy. Anyway, and I was the baby, you know, so we had that special bond or whatever. So it's just, it still feels like, almost to me, that, you know how when you hear of someone getting in a car wreck and you get a phone call that they don't know if they're gonna make it, and you're so far away that you can't get there, there's nothing you can do but wait and see what happens, and then they call you back and say he didn't make it. That's basically what I feel like. My dad made a choice, you know, not to tell anyone, but I feel like if he had told us, at least, you know, we could have made more phone calls and treasured every last moment that we had together and things like that. It's just really sad, you know. Maybe I could have went down there, you know, and spent more time with them, things like that, that you just think, oh, you know, we'll come down in a couple months, or, you know, things like that. Because he lived in Florida. He had just moved to Florida a couple years ago, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and so we would go down for a beach trip every summer and stay with them, and then go to the beach and things like that, and go eat and things like that while we were down there. And it's just crazy. Also, no, he was just a very giving person, very sweet, but we don't know if he even had a will, because you know, nobody ever said anything, so we just assume he didn't have a will. His wife, you know, basically just didn't say anything other than that she misses him and things like that. But it's really just crazy. Like, it just seems surreal, like a dream, like a really bad horror dream. And you just wonder, like, how did this happen? You know, right under your nose almost. We tried to talk him out of moving to Florida when they decided. Her sister lived up there, and she, his wife, her sister lived up there, and she had some cousins and aunts and things like that, family that lived up there in Florida, and it would be better for her body. She has fibromyalgia and stuff. So long story short, you know, that was the main reason they moved up there. They had a lot of friends up there and things like that. So, and my dad was like, well, you guys are all busy. I live in West Virginia, which is like 3.5 to 4 hours away from where they lived in Canal, Winchester in Ohio. And, you know, he just felt like, well, you know, this is what I'm going to do. Me and my sisters tried to say, you know, well, what happens if you get sick? Deborah's already not feeling well, his wife. So what happens, you know, if she can't help you, take care of you? And he's like, well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Because me and my sisters were like, well, we can't really get there fast, you know, if we need to be there to help take care of him and things like that. I'm just in shock and disbelief. of it all. One minute, everything's fine, you know. And at Christmas, you know, I guess we should have picked up on it more. At Christmas time, you know, he was bald. He shaved all his hair off. And we just always, he was going through a phase. Because, you know, he had been losing some hair and things like that. So we just thought, oh, you know, it's just a phase. You know, but he had been sweating and stuff, so he would take his hat off. I remember that at Christmas time when we spent time together. But I just can't believe he had lung cancer and didn't tell his family. I mean, he was 73 when this happened. So I was 43. He was exactly 30 years older than me. And, you know, I just thought he had at least 10, 15 more years. You know, you like to assume. You know what you get when you assume stuff. But it just feels almost like either he was murdered or, not that his wife would do anything like that. I'm talking about just how he's there one minute and the next it's just like a total shock. I'm just really grieving, you know, and dealing with that. I've been trying to push it to the back of my mind and just think, you know, I mean, he was a Christian and he was saved, and so I know he's going to heaven and all that stuff. I know he's probably happier now than he ever has been on this earth, because this earth is evil and awful and terrible, and, you know, you're in pain all the time and stuff. He had some back issues and things like that. But just the fact that he didn't tell anyone, and we were all just going about our lives, and I could have spent one more long day with him. We had been up there for that barbecue, and then the next day was Sunday, and you know, we could have went to go eat and spent that extra time, but me and Chad and Emily were ready. They were wanting to go, I don't remember, to a park and like do some traveling a little bit on the way home. So we just decided to head out early, and they were staying with my brother and I was staying with my sister, so I didn't get to see him that Sunday. I would have spent that extra time if I knew he was sick. You know, there's just things that you think back, like, that you would have done. I would have called more, you know. Anyway, so thank y'all for listening and joining this crazy experience. I hope that nothing like this ever happens to you all. It's a tough situation. I don't have either of my parents now, so, because my mom passed when I was 18. And then, you know, but I've been living in West Virginia away from my dad since I was like 21. I moved up here. Actually moved to Proctorville, Ohio, because my aunt lives over there, and it was just a hard transition after my mom passed, so I moved up here just to get away from everything. And it's peaceful in West Virginia. You know, it's more nature and relaxed. There's not such a rush. In Ohio, I always felt like, you know, everybody was in a hurry and it was just a rush to get everywhere and do everything. So anyways, I'm happier here, you know, but it's still, it makes you feel weird not having either parent. You know, people that, your parents love you so much, and you know, they always have your back and things like that. So I'm not feeling good today too, so it adds to my being a little emotional, but you know, it's real. It is what it is. And just how I'm feeling. So I thought I'd share with you guys. Thanks for listening. And I hope that you guys have a great day. Don't forget to watch my other videos, my longer videos. I need some help on my watch time. So thank you all so much for watching, and I love you all, and you have a great day.